Hey, so it's Saturday and it's been 6 days since I shot that mukbang with my sister, and a bunch of people have reached out to say they can't believe Zita is that big. I can't believe it either. So one of the other questions that she asked me, which I've gone back to again and again this week, is what I've learned from my mom and dad. I did want to expound on those answers as well, especially this week because a lot's been going on. It's been such a great example of how we've come together as a family over the course of COVID, and it's really opportune for all of this to happen during this period, so I wanted to talk a bit about that. My dad actually suggested that I do a vlog on financial literacy. Maybe I will at some point in the future. I do want to start with a general intro to financial literacy and what has been the gatekeeping question that I ask myself and that I ask other people whenever we make a purchase. But I've also realized that this question can be applied to really anything. So the question is it a want or a need? Now you can apply that in a very financial kind of situation, in the sense that if you want to buy something and you're on a budget, for example, you ask yourself, is it a want or need? If it's a want, then you'd have to think twice about whether or not it's worth purchasing now, or if it can wait till later. Particularly when you consider the psyche of a person. Well, at least in my own experience, I'd never want to feel deprived, and so because that just builds up over time. To your food, to even your relationships, is it a want or a need? When you want to have your way, for example, in a dynamic, I would frame this question as, but is it beneficial to both people in the interaction? So if you always want your way and you always want to get away with having your way, then you're not really in a position to relate. There's just so many contexts in which you can apply this question, but I did want to leave that with you today. Is it a want or a need? Try to see if it works in a situation where you find yourself in. Easy application is it that extra cookie? Is it a want or a need? Or figure out like in what situations this question doesn't apply. I'd be really interested to find out where this doesn't work, but I think in my own experience, you could always ask yourself, but is it a want or need? So yeah, so that's the question I want to leave with you today. I have so many other lessons I've learned from my parents, but I think that's a good question to start with. In other news, it's the last week, guys. At every point, I want to thank you guys for sticking around. So thank you. We're almost there. Bye. You can tell it's the weekend because I've got my glasses on. I'm starting to realize how fun Procreate is outside of just the daily stuff I do on PTL Prod, which you can check out in my about on this channel.